we've got Bonnie Skinner, the CEO of Sheep Producers Australia, just talking about the conclusion of LambEx here in Adelaide. It's been a really busy but fantastic 3 days. What's everyone talking about?
I think one of the big things that people are talking about are the quality. It's in the quality space, and how do we get to the next level in terms of actually implementing all of the technology and the advancements that we've made, not only across objective carcass measurement technologies, but we've also had producers working hard on breeding values and really trying to lift their eating quality amongst their carcasses. So a lot of conversation about how do we actually now move towards implementation and commercialisation of these models. We've got the MSA cut by cook model that's ready to go. We've got challenges to work through in some of the larger processing sectors, but I think there is a willingness from a lot of people to try and find those solutions. So that's been a big point of conversation.
Absolutely. There was an amazing panel that you were part of this morning discussing a lot of those issues, and one of the things that come up was communication and the importance for the entire sector across the supply chain to work together. So that's kind of what LambEx is all about, really.
Absolutely, yeah. It's getting us together. That's when we do make the biggest leaps and bounds. But when we come together, we have to have the willingness to have brave conversations. We have to be willing to participate, and we need to be respectful as well. But I think there are some tough conversations that need to be had between all of us. And I think what producers are looking for across the board is transparency. And I thought we had a really good discussion on the panel today about some of those challenges. And certainly when I talk to producers on the ground about when are they going to see this stuff happening and rolling out from their larger processors, I thought the processors were quite open about some of the issues that they're facing, but they are willing to go there. So that's why we go to LambEx.
Fantastic. Now, talking of tough conversations, we did have the new Federal Ag Minister turn up yesterday.
Yes.
And she did appear unwilling to have any tough conversations with media or people on the ground here. Were you able to get some time with her to discuss some of your concerns and some issues?
Yes. So we were really grateful that she could come to LambEx and put that time in her schedule. I think it's absolutely appropriate for the Agriculture Minister to come to Australia, the world's biggest industry event. But she's only 10, 11 days into the job now, newly minted. She made time to come along. It would be great to have more time with her. I had the opportunity to raise a few key issues with her, and we're certainly looking to having further meetings with her now. The challenge when you have a reshuffle is that there are staff everywhere, no one knows where they're going, and it takes a little while for the dust to settle. So really important opportunity to get a little foot in the door and show her around the event, and we look forward to more chats with her.
So it was really that first relationship building, I suppose.
That's right, and I was fortunate to have met her when she was in the opposition position in the shadow ministry, so I have met with her, I've worked with her before. This will be the start of a new relationship in this portfolio now.
Yep. And what is I suppose those couple of key issues that you do want to discuss with her? What are you thinking are the biggest political issues that need working on at the moment?
Undoubtedly live exports at the top of the list to talk about, and since we've had the legislation passed through, there really hasn't been a lot of clear communication from government on what the next steps are, and we have people out there on the ground now who are wondering what to do next. We've got a date. No one agrees with the phase out. No one agrees that the package that they've announced is big enough. No one agrees with the time frame. But we've got people who will be making decisions about what to do on farm, and what concerns me is the critical mass and the shrinking of the flock size in WA. So these are really key things to talk about, is what they've got envisaged for the implementation plan, what they're planning to do in terms of engaging with industry on that, and what opportunities are there to shape that process. So that will be at the top of the list, amongst other things. Yeah.
How long until that process will be sort of cemented in? Because there's not long, is there going to be, will that be decided in the next 6 months, the next couple of months, or is there a timeline on that?
If you know where to buy those crystal balls, I would love to shop there. It's a challenging one, so we really need to get these conversations moving as soon as we possibly can. These things should already be in place, and the fact that we've had a reshuffle in the middle of these conversations, we had legislation introduced, we had later than probably what they were planning to do. The report came out, the announcement came out, all very late in terms of their overall plan. So we're very far behind. That 2028 date is not very far away.
No, I had probably assumed that they were in place, so when you were talking about shaping them,
No.
Yep.
We're yet to see any information about what this transition is realistically going to look like, or any funding details around the overall package. So lots of discussions yet to be had.
Have you got a number in mind on what the conversation should be, the package should, or what it should include?
Our estimations on what we've looked at with this, it's more around $400 million and above to do a proper transition. And what a big part of our advocacy last year around this was, if you're going to try and do this in any short time period, it was undoubtedly going to be more expensive. Concerningly, what I am worried about is producers who are contemplating leaving the market altogether now, leaving the industry altogether because of the lack of market opportunities that they see without live export as a part of their future. So there is a lot of work to do, and the price tag, really, that the size of the package the government's put on the table, we can't see how it's going to meet the intended aims of the government, which is to grow onshore processing.
Yeah. And how are farmers? You obviously get a lot of calls from farmers and industry groups. How are farmers coping? How are exporters coping? Like, what's that feeling with all that uncertainty? I didn't realise there was that much uncertainty.
Yeah, well, they've been looking at confidence in WA for the last 12, 18 months, and it's hit some of the lowest ever levels on record since they've been collecting that kind of information. So it really tells you that the uncertainty and the lack of confidence is really taking a toll on people there. There are significant mental health concerns that we've got for the people on the ground. I know that the services there have been very active in trying to support people. They've just been through a very bad dry season. And so, with all of that playing havoc, there are people who are feeling pretty low. There are people in there who are wanting to try and find a way through all of this and try and lead the industry towards a better outcome. And this is the time that we really all need to pull together and work together to make sure that we've got a sustainable industry. So it is tough. It is tough, though.
Yeah, and look, I did catch the tail end of your speech over there before, talking about the importance of value adding. So bringing this into something a little more positive territory there and for the future. So what are your thoughts on the importance of value adding in the industry?
Value adding is going to be incredibly important to what we do. We need to try and extract as much value as we can out of production and out of our carcasses. So whether that's lamb or hogget or mutton, and there's certainly a lot of interest in particularly in the hogget side as well. We need a better name for that product. We've talked about yearling in the past.
Aged lamb?
Aged lamb, well, but the fact that we're classing it by dietitian, but we know we've got incredibly good quality coming through from those products. So there is a lot of evolution of our systems that need to happen to support that within the context of a lot of other complicated factors. So that will be critical to growing the overall value of the industry. And I think, even though, it's very tough in industry at the moment, events like this and LambEx are really key to bringing people together. And yes, it's tough right now, but we need to keep looking towards the future, and that's exactly what a lot of the discussions here this week have been about.
Yeah, fantastic. Excellent. Well, thank you so much, Bonnie. It's been lovely chatting with you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.